down the river. But I
It
thought that was going to spook him, but it didn't.
was an interesting little like use of that. I'm being told that there's still no in-game footage, so I'll try to describe things a little bit better for like to give you a picture of what's happening. We did have first tower go over to the side of Comeback Kids, but we got a big play from Lucido. Lands a 3-man parallel convert. Beneficent putting out the damages. He's got double taps and love taps and all sorts of taps going out, but it's going to end up being no kills. Oh, but the blast cone might have just screwed over OG Kimmerkree, although I see now he was taking it to run away from DG Mad Hatter. Silent Taco gets shut down by Lucida in the back part of all this. We still got chasing. Ignite is down onto Violet Sociocat by DG Mad Hatter. He's got a distortion forward for the damage. Can they get the kill here on OG Kimmerkree? There's a TP coming in from Jingle, but he's going to be 1v... Oh, he's got a Mauser here. He's going to be 1v, 2v3. And it's going to be an insta-ult into the Twisted Advance. Will kill off Beneficent.
Missed the lantern there.
Yeah.
Alright, so I can't exactly fix it at this point, so what's going to have to happen is we're just going to have to roll with it. At this point, guys, really sorry about that. I honestly don't know what happened between now and then, so we're just gonna have to roll with it. You're not gonna be able to see the supports, the support builds and whatnot, but yeah, we're just gonna have to roll with it, guys. Really sorry.
Do we have video now, though?
Yeah, we have video.
Cool. I won't have to literally commentate everything as much as I had been.
What? You just can pretend you're a radio announcer.
Jingle made the rotation all the way up topside. Oh, nice play. The flash is going to get disrupted too. Stock Dalius was going to be up a creek without a paddle, as Silent Taco is going to come get action. Can he do anything with his passive? He's got a lot of damage down on the Jingle, but he's just going to get his strength of the Courage of the Colossus shield and walk away. It's going to look like they're going to pressure top lane tier 1. But Elucida's here. Let me just try and clear the wave out. So yeah, good map rotations. What are you guys making of this? Like very sure early plays coming out of the side of Comeback Kids, saying we want to actually play with a gold lead this game.
Low Kimmerkree right there. And it looks like they're just gonna back off and get the tower.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, though, like they're trying to do trade, but if Lucida can stall this long enough, the bot lane of Champions Violet Ashen can answer this a lot faster. And yeah, so it's going to end up, all in all, being actually a turret over to Champions Violet Ashen and no turret for Comeback Kids. Good play there by Champions Violet Ashen to just stall out that top lane long enough for bot lane to take the bot lane tier 1.
That was close there from the Malzahar. Had the Maleficent Visions and the Nether Grasp. Almost took down the LeBlanc, who lived with just a sliver of health. And now he's back to pushing the tower. No, just backing off.
Yeah. Looks like we might be seeing pings on the Rift Herald. No, it looks more like they were just trying to scout out if they were taking it, as they just will throw a pink ward down in the bush. Maybe they're trying to set up to take it later. They still got about 4 minutes to do so. I like this adaptation right now that we're seeing. We're seeing especially Death Sentence lands on allergic to onto Violet Sociocat, but the Blitzcrank says, "Cool, pull me. I'm gonna come right at you," and he's gonna miss the hook onto Beneficent, as now Violet Sociocat's gonna have to flash away to survive. Ooh, a lot of headshot damage coming out of OG Kimmerkree on OG Chinook, though. The hook lands on OG Kimmerkree, not gonna take it. Decides it's a little too dangerous to take that one, but some nice mechanical plays coming out of both sides right now. Panda, if you are allergic to Muck there, do you take that hook?
He couldn't. He was stunned under the bear trap.
Oh, he got stunned on the. Oh,
yeah, he got caught on the Caitlyn trap, so he wasn't actually able to go into with the hook.
I had missed that. Okay, well that makes more sense. That's one of my favorite things to do if like I'm playing against the Thresh and they go for hook, is to stun him so that he can't do anything about it. We're gonna see a potential second Infernal Drake already heading over to Comeback Kids, but there's every chance of a 4v4 starting, and Jingle does not have his teleport, whereas Stock Adalius does. If I'm Stock, I need to be channeling my TP now. Blue team's gonna get the Infernal Drake, but will it be free? DG Mad Hatter is gonna be chasing after Silent Taco, not gonna get anything. And now they're going to converge onto the rest of the team. Oh, Lucida's going to get
Nether
ult
Grasp.
himself right into the
Yep.
Nether Grasp. But Bullet Time shreds. Come back, kids. Death Sentence going to miss. It's going to end up being a 1-for-0. But Stock Dalis is here now and has his ulti. I almost went on. Oh, he did TP, and I didn't see where he TP'd to.
I think it was behind.
It had to have been to one of the pink wards sitting in the
Yeah.
river. I almost want you to just TP onto the minion wave and bot lane at that point, and then just run your ult straight up the lane and cut out one of their escape points. Because that was the issue with that fight for Champions Battle Ashen. They had the play they wanted. They had him zoned off like they wanted. But the carries, if you will, they were able to just dip out the bot side of that river. If you have your Scion TP bot lane, it cuts out that escape point, and then you can really choke them into that MF fold that was about to be hitting.
Yeah, there's a large wave pushing bot for that team. Comeback Kids. Looks like Beneficent's gonna go pick that up. We got 4 mid. Looks like they might push into the tower.
Yeah, there's unless Lucida decides to spend some time mid helping wave clear, that's not the best wave clear. The hook is gonna miss from Violet Sociocat, maybe some counter engage potential from Lucida, but it's gonna end up being a tower down in mid lane. And just a little bit of macro play coming out. Have you ever played with Violet Sociocat, Panda?
Against all the time.
With
Rarely. It's
Okay.
been a while.
I was just curious because I know playing with Violet Sociocat, like when she decides that she's gonna win a game and like shot call her way to victory, it's almost
Yeah.
impossible to win that. And right now, this game is looking a lot like that. There's a lot of plays being initiated by Violet Sociocat saying, "We're gonna invade now. They don't have the numbers. We have the numbers. Let's go just do what Blitzcrank does best." Or it's we have priority on this dragon. We're gonna go take it right now. And it's a lot of calls that while we don't know their comms and we don't know even right here. See, we got pings on top lane. I am willing to bet that a large part of this call is coming from Violet Sociocat right now, and I think it's brilliant shot calling. And they're just out in macro playing Champions Battle Ashen right now. The hook is gonna
The
hit
hook is
on the
good.
stock Dahlius, and it's gonna be a lot of
Wow.
burst damage, and it's gonna be a dead stock of Dahlius.
Yeah, no, I think a Blitzcrank pick just gives them a ton of initiative to start whatever
Mhm.
fight they want. And then the zone.
And
Here
the-
comes the LeBlanc.
Bullet Time's gonna shred their team though. That's gonna insta pop Silent Taco. Jingle might be in the back line without a prayer right now. He's gonna try to return some of the damage. Odric Mimicry doing the same, but this might be a lost fight now.
Yeah.
As Bud Nipson's gonna flash forward, get some damage, get all the damage. Illustrator gonna phase dive to finish off Bukaki Poro. Can the Death Sentence hit? And it's not even gonna be attempted. The hook goes on to Lucida, but it's gonna force Violet Sociocat to flash away.
Force the ult out of Lucida, too.
That moment when you hit the hook that you didn't want to hit.
I actually kind of think she was trying to hit
No,
the hook to
I
pull him
know.
under tower
And
then run
then
around and hope to take enough tower shots.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
she knew that the Echo that Elucida had the ult, so maybe it was just like a an ult for a flash, which isn't worth in my opinion, but hey, I guess in some other ways it could be.
and GG Mad Hatter is gonna get away with very little health, although I'm not. Stock Davis gets away. He does have his ulti if he needs, and he's gonna be fine. So good answer play there by Champions Spotlight Ashen. Huge props. I think the MVP in that fight was two things. It was allergic to milk, hit a hook on the Silent Taco, which stunned him in the entirety of Budnificent's bullet time. And he was just instigating. We've got a Baron being started here. What do you guys make of this?
Very
They have-
early.
Ooh,
Well, I mean they're doing it fairly.
Kha'Zix does take it fairly well. That
Beneficent there. So
They're
it's
aware of
they
it, though.
have
Yes,
they
bullet
have
time.
vision.
it's going to be a 21-minute Baron. Good call. Now, as long as they can disengage a fight, and yeah, they're going to be fine. Good macro play by Comeback Kids there. Yeah, that's the thing about Kha'Zix is once he gets the evolved Q, which I'm sure is what Silent Taco has evolved right now, I can't actually tell how to tell
Yeah.
what gets evolved on him.
Is it skill points? 'Cause
No.
if so, then he has 4 skill points in it.
Well, either way, I'm sure that he has the evolved Q. His cooldown is pretty small.
Yeah, that's the evolved Q.
Yeah, it actually is really good for taking Baron and Dragon. It's kind of like the Cassiopeia thing, where like you can just give Cassio enough a spammable E, I think is her ability, and she can shred neutral objective. Yeah, and give her some mana and a little bit of time, and it's nothing. It's the same kind of thing for Kha'Zix. That's part of why Kha'Zix is seeing the most play out of junglers right now at the pro level, is because of his ability to be so objective focused as a jungler. Not many assassins are as adept at being objective focused.
I think
might
we
see
have
a
a
play-
cheese bush.
The Gurg special? It's
Yeah.
gonna, a nice distort from DG Mad Hatter, but she's gonna miss the chains onto, and then the the Malzolt, which I apologize, I don't know the name of. Sorry, I'm not well
Nether
versed.
grass.
Nethergrass, that's the name of it. And it's going to result in a dragon for Comeback Kids. That's a play that could have worked for DG Mad Hatter had the chains landed. But that's what we were talking about in Champ Select a little bit, where like Caitlyn's a fairly safe EDK. Yeah, all she's really got is that 50 caliber net, but it was enough. Death Sentence is going to land on the Violet Sociocat, but it's not a hook that he wants to take. A lot of damage coming through, but Elucida's taking just as much, gonna get popped before the shield can come through. And now with Baroned up Malzahar Caitlyn squad, the siege comp is real right now, boys. Not no
Yeah,
Ziggs
that
siege.
turret's coming down.
It ain't no Ziggs siege comp, but it's still a pretty darn good siege comp nonetheless. Mad Hatter is here. Mad Hatter is flanking, and it's gonna be twisted advance.
Mad Hatter is gone.
Is that game?
And that's why that might be
That
a game in 25.
Could be.
The hook's going to land on the Stuck Dahlias. Who's going to get popped? Bullet Time's going to cross. Bullet Time is going to practically kill OG Kumikri, but it's just barely on enough damage. Stock Dahlias is going to pick up the kill on Violet Sociocat. Flash phase dive in from Lucida to pick up the kill. Jingle's going to get Death Sentence into the kill. So it's not game yet. But good lord, it could have been. if Violet Sociocat and OG Kumikri didn't take as much damage from Bullet Time as they did there, that's game.
Well, Violet Sociocat really didn't have a chance to really think about all that damage. I think she was trying to get in as far as possible,
Yeah.
maybe knock up Beneficent from that ultimate, but it didn't really work out, and she ended up taking a lot more than she could chew.
Shoot, the MF ult practically one shot OG Kumikri. They're trying to just tank this tower down, but it's not going down very quickly. It'll go eventually.
Taking it slowly.
The question is, can they do anything off the back end of this? But they won't be able to. So we're still relatively close, all things considering. It's still only a 2K gold lead for Comeback Kids. And the thing that sucks is having that inhib down. Everybody talks about bot inhib being the most important one. Well, the caveat to that is that's because then it gives you the pressure on Baron, but Baron's not up. And I think by the time that Baron's up, that inhib is back up. So it's not the worst situation. It gives Stock Dahlias a free lane of farm. He's got his teleport, and he's got his ulti. He can answer most any play. And we're going to see a pick potential going down onto Violet Sociocat. It's going to look like end up in nothing. Yeah, it's just going to be a little bit of damage traded back and forth.
Yeah, it's not really worth it.
But
Violet Sociocat is really deep. Yep.
somebody needs to take this to my GameStop lagging.
Alright, so right here we're seeing a siege top lane. There's no Baron buff at this point, but the Comeback Kids need to really think about their engages at this point. Violet Sociocat is still not up. This is a 4v5 situation, and right now, if I'm Champion Spotlight Auction, I'm actually looking for a hook onto anybody at this point and to use that 4v5 advantage.
Bullet
Bullet time.
But it's going to give Jingle an easy way into the fight. Now he's tanking the tower for days. Silent Taco into the fight. Jingle is still on the backline. He may have bitten off more than he can chew here. What a W from Silent Taco. Dodges the Scion stun. He's going to end up going down eventually to Elucida, but Elucida's going to pay for it. and then Bukaki Poro's going to deal with it. Everybody's getting answer kills and then killing the person who got the answer kill. All in all, it appears to be a 3-for-2 as Jingle, Bukaki Poro, and OG Kumukri will fall.
Yeah, and for Elucida, that was actually a really, really unfortunate time because because Malzahar had ended up hitting the silence on Elucida right as I'm sure he was mashing the heck out of that Zanya's button, but unfortunately wasn't able to pop it off in time to survive because he did still have the chrono break as well. So by all intents and purposes, he could have got out of there, but like I said, just I don't think Bukaki Poro was exactly thinking about that. I think he was just trying to lay out as much damage as possible, and it just happened to happen that way. So really, really unfortunate. But I'm really glad to see Elucida with that second item, Zanya's.
Yeah.
Now all it takes is to not get silenced, apparently.
What's that rod building in? Is that building into Lichbane? I thought Lichbane built differently now.
What?
What's this Needlessly Large rod? Good words. Oh, well, we got a potential pause will be coming up. They're in tournament draft. Yep, okay.
There it goes.
Well, let's talk about this because Luden's built out of that, but you already get the Luden's proc out of Runic Echoes.
Oh, you're talking about you're talking about Elucida.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, okay, yeah. I thought you were talking about the LeBlanc.
No, yeah. What's that Luden's gonna build into?
No, not Rallies. Rallies doesn't.
Rallies builds differently too. You might be going for a death cap, really. Well, it builds into what? It builds into death cap. It builds into. Oh shoot! I don't remember.
No, it doesn't build into
No,
Rallies.
Rallies builds differently now.
Does it?
Yeah, it
Like
does.
it builds into death cap. It builds into Luden's Echo.
It doesn't build into Lichbane.
It does build into Lichbane.
It doesn't.
No.
Right.
Yeah, I'm confused.
Yeah,
I don't
death cap.
Yeah.
What's the third one that it builds into?
No, yeah, that
There's
is a
three
death cap,
things that it
because
builds into.
He also has an amplifying tome. That's death cap.
Okay. What's the third?
Well, actually, no. It could
it's
actually,
a staff.
it still could be. It could still be Luden's Echo, actually. Because
But I feel like that's double dipping on the same passive because it's not going to stack, is it?
no,
Is that a unique passive?
It
Unique
is-
passive Echo.
I think
No,
it
it's
is-
unique passive Echo, and that's just what it said on Luden's Echo also.
Yeah.
I need to pull up the store. Can I do that from here? Nope, I just paused it. That's not how that works.
Wow.
Attaboy. But no, I don't know. I think it's either Luden's Echo at this point or Death Cap.
Or Death Cap. I can see it being the Death Cap.
Come back.
Get your shield huge. We got another Baron immediately being started up here by Comeback Kid.
Oh, he got it!
Oh, he got
stole
it! Oh, Elucidus again.
The
Well
steal
played.
from Elucida.
So a little bit of miscommunication there, because by all intents and purposes, Silent Talker should not miss that smite with that Q. Actually, I'm not exactly sure. How... Oh no, he got stunned.
Oh,
He got stunned by the
Through the-
parallel
Very nice.
convergence.
well, and that's one of the things. That's part of why you see Echoes going Lichbane, is because it allows you for that. But Echo doesn't have his Lichbane. He doesn't even have a Sheen yet. That's a very impressive steal without the Lichbane, because that's hard with Lichbane.
Absolutely.
So Elucida keeping his team in a little bit, and now it's actually a gold lead swung in the favor of Champion Spotlight Ashen.
Oh, but now GG Mad Hatter gets caught.
Oh, no! And now it's going to be
And it's gonna be Sal as
Allergic
well.
So they need to try and see if they can still get anything with this Baron buff, but now this might just be a bot inhib going down over to the side of Comeback Kids.
Lack of vision right now, coming from the side of Champion Spotlight Auction. They don't really have any wards that really extends past their gates.
Oh,
right
the flash hook is gonna get
What is
magnificent,
this?
and he's gonna go
That's gonna be
down. Baron steal or not, when the play like that happens, it's gonna be tough to win. Oh, the silence from Malzahar takes half of Elucida's health. Violet Sociogat's gonna go down, but as is Elucida, and now Jingle is a huge tree, and there's nothing his team can do about it. LeBlanc is back up for DG Mad Hatter. And it's gonna be a hook down
Actually,
on
Bukaki
Bukaki
Boy's
Poro. He's gonna be dead, but DG Mad Hatter is almost getting forced out of his own base right now. And he's going to get twisted advances by Maokai. He's got 0 mana, this Jingle.
So they're getting pressured off. Actually, it's
They're
not
gonna
Zion's
chase
got the
it.
engage come. Oh, good dodge there.
And he
McCree. He's going to...
Okay, that's
Oh.
GG. Wait, no, Beneficent is up. What is
Taco
happening?
just going crazy in
Yo,
these fights.
the one at a time strats are real right now. Death Sentence missing. Jingle's easily sidestepping
Oh,
that.
God.
But Beneficent does have bullet time. And I feel like at this point...
Oh, he got the silent taco.
Oh.
Elucida getting his
Gotta
own
pay for it with his life.
Oh,
And he put right back onto the
already in
trap. Oh, Jingle is
so
a big tree.
Now is it GG? Bullet time going. Actually takes out Silent Taco. He needs to go in for OG Mimicry. He instead also for Jingle. I don't think that's the right choice. Oh, DG Mad Hatter getting caught on another trap. Oh, what the heck is that? Okay. Alright, let's calm down.
Oh my god, that last 10 minutes of the game.
Let's calm down. Okay.
And hey, Sebastian, you were right. It was Deathcap.
Hey.
It was Deathcap that Lucida was building into. Oh my gosh. What just happened? That game got really crazy really fast.
Yeah, it did.
Indeed.
Whew. I can breathe now.
Okay, so everything is... Guys, I'm really sorry about the stream. Honestly speaking, like... stuff happened in between... in between games. I don't exactly know what happened, so I'm very sorry for that. But in any case, we can go ahead and end off the stream here. Well, actually, no.
MVPs.
Right. So, as you're probably looking at the bottom right-hand corner of my screen, I can't exactly show you the damage charts. Again, very sorry for that. I will make sure that I have it fixed and ready to go the next time. But in any case, we're going to have to talk about MVP votes. So, first game. During the little lull that we had, we were actually debating on who got MVP. In my honest opinion, I think Silent Taco is well deserving of that title. Because although he did receive a lot of criticism from me because he didn't exactly do anything in the early to mid game, he was able to really come out and show up and assassinate Budnificent and to create the opportunities for the comeback kids to actually make the comeback and become successful because of the constant harass from the Kazakhs onto Budnificent. So that's where my MVP goes to in that aspect.
I think I got outvoted on game one, but I was leaning towards OG Kumikri. I thought his Varus play was very good, and I thought that he hard carried a lot of the team fights in the mid to late game. It's 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other, because both him and Silent Taco played those fights very well. I just was coming at it from a different perspective, but I got outvoted, so it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, I agree with Sebastian on the Silent Taco. Being able to assassinate Budnificent basically at will really swung team fights towards comeback kids. So I'm going to have to give it to Silent Taco.
Alright, so it looks like we're in agreement that Silent Taco is going to go ahead and take MVP for Game 1. So now let's switch it up a little bit to Game 2. We didn't really, unfortunately the stream didn't catch about the first 10 minutes of that. Again, I'm very sorry, but I'm sure with Eric's great shoutcasting abilities, we were able to get a little bit more of that. But so let's just go off of what happened the last, I believe it was 20 minutes of that game.
I think it's Violet Sociocat. I think the amount of presence that she had in that late lane phase, early mid game, and the very clear vision that comeback kids had to get through that mid game into the team fight, it was very nice to see, and I think a lot of that started with the Blitzcrank.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. The Blitzcrank pick and just the general play on Blitzcrank with all the hooks landing for Violet Sociocat really kind of gave the comeback kids the initiative to the point where they didn't really need to make that comeback. You know, they were ahead for most of the game until they lost the Baron, and then really it was pretty much game over at that point, anyways.
Well, my vote doesn't exactly mean anything, but I do agree that Violet Cat is well deserving of MVP game 2 because, like Panda said, she was able to just open up the game so much with the Blitzcrank, getting the necessary hooks and picks that were needed to essentially swing the game in their favor to constantly get that 4v5 situation, and no doubt the shot calling aspect of it as well. Really tied it all together. I'm sure she was the main proponent in that. So I'm absolutely in agreement with y'all. Violet Cat MVP game 2.
Cool.
All right, so let's go ahead and try and get them in here. So we got Silent Taco first. See if I can pull him down. Well, that's fine. Well, actually, here, let me do this. Let me try and get him in here 1 second.
That. Yeah, he's muted. Oh, here he is. What up? Alrighty.
I'm just saying, Jay,
Yeah.
you did some fucking work that second game.
Woo!
Wow.
I had to do
Hello?
it.
Hello.
What up, guys?
What's up? What's up? So, we decided that your performance on the Kha'Zix game 1 is well worthy enough for you to receive the MVP vote for game 1. So, congratulations on that.
Alrighty. Thank you, guys.
So, I guess I'll start off with the first question. You guys lived up to your name on the first game, and you guys came back in a very, very spectacular fashion. That wasn't exactly due to like one or two team fights. It was actually a culmination of a lot of plays, a lot of picks and whatnot. But you in general, what exactly were your goals with the Kha'Zix? You know, because you weren't exactly ganking early, and you actually received some criticism from me in that that I didn't think that you were ganking enough on Kha'Zix. So, like, what was your thought process there?
Well, it was mostly, Ali in the back talking on and about our team comp and saying that that we're going to scale ultimately much better than the enemy team. And then there was a moment when we realized that Renekton was building tank items first, and it was that moment we knew that they were going to hit a big mid-game slump, and then we had to try to abuse, I guess, the isolation power of Kha'Zix, and then more of pick potential and trying to be really slippery during team fights and stuff, because we were afraid of getting locked down by Lissandra. So it was a lot of bait and switch, walking up and baiting out the abilities, and then using the isolation bonus to just pick off the targets who are trying to scramble away from the team fights. Mostly Lucian.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
So I got a question. We've seen you play 2 champions.
Right.
Is there more to the silentest of tacos?
There is, but unless I'm forced to play them, I'm sticking with these 2.
Take that as a note.
Yeah.
And the taco.
Kha'Zix is, in my opinion, pick or ban. If you're not going to play it, and if you know that I play it, you should definitely try to take it up for me.
Okay, so shout-outs.
Dude, noted. I will note that
Yeah.
for playoffs because we already played your team, so I don't gotta worry about it for right now. But
Ivern, more or less, is not a pick or ban champion, but you should try to plan around it. He's not the champion that will straight up carry a game, but he will empower the stronger carries in his team to do pretty much whatever they want. So, yeah.
Can I do a follow up?
Go ahead.
Yeah, go for it.
That's the thing that I find most hilarious. Like, your 2 champs, you got Kha'Zix and you got Ivern, and you got the champ that pretty much wants to be away from everything, doing his own thing, killing everything, and then you got a champ who literally wants to just be on top of his entire team. I just find that I have to laugh at how ridiculously different the two champs are.
Yeah, well, they're just kind of our two. It's part of, I guess, our team comp strategy. One is to really pick off enemies and try to team fight, and the other one is to try to separate them and try to like basically make them run around thinking, what are we gonna do? But yeah, Ivern is, in my opinion, like a big mixture of Nunu and Janna, whereas he has a lot of freedom in the jungle to do as he pleases, sort of like the Nunu, and then the Janna part is where like he just has a lot of peel and shielding for his teammates. So yeah, I don't know. I can play both styles, though I do prefer the supporting one.
Right.
It was banned away both times in these games, so I didn't get to play it at all this time.
Right.
Okay. Panda, do you have any questions for Silent Taco?
What was kind of the logic behind the pick Kha'Zix again in the second game? Was it the same, like just isolate?
It was more of like a comfort. We had already planned out the team comp, and it's my second best champion, and we were just trying to stick with something we already know. We have worked with some of my other champions, but we just figured it's up, why not? Basically, that's basically the logic behind it.
Fair enough. Right.
There's something about a comfort pick.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's pretty much it. We're going to go ahead and get Ali up here as well. But thanks for your time, dude. And great work on the Kha'Zix on both games, because you played that champion really, really well. And, you know, definitely established yourself as a threat and as definitely a bannable champion in your games to come. So huge shout out to you, dude, and good luck on the next one.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
See you. All right, and we're gonna go ahead and grab Ali here. Let me just go ahead and move her down. Hello?
Hello.
That's not Ali. That's Panda.
Ali?
Hello.
How's
it going?
Hey.
So, you were actually picked for MVP of Game 2 with that spectacular Blitzcrank. So, I'll start off with the first question. What caused you to pick the Blitzcrank? What was your mindset there?
Well, ultimately the pick ban that they had was very confusing. They thought that I was going to first pick the Thresh because they left it open, but they don't and I'm going to be chill and just explain our strategies, so, you know, for learning purposes, as opposed to just not say anything. But when they left Maokai and Kha'Zix and Malzahar open, and Thresh, they made a statement that said that they were okay with us. Because so what happens if we let the Thresh go over? I just get to counterpick it, and it's my main champion, so that's fine with me. So we just pick up the Maokai on the first rotation. Now they're in a situation where they either have to pick the Thresh or let it be my main champion.
Right.
So now they have to pick the Thresh on first rotation, which just means that does lower me to the lower pick for the pick comp, that I would prefer the Thresh. But I pick the Blitz because it lets us get 3 power picks the first 2 rotations.
Yeah, we were talking about that in Champ Select when they didn't ban the Thresh. I was thinking about, well, like, what is first pickable here? And we thought about the Maokai because they also banned the Nautilus. We thought about the Kha'Zix. We thought about the Thresh. We thought about whatever AD carry guy want. Like, there were so many options of what to first pick that there were still so many good options of what to pick third and fourth.
Okay. I guess I got a little bit of a follow-up question here. So essentially, you use the pick ban phase to your absolute greatest potential, but you know, again, why Blitzcrank? You know, you had a spectacular game on Morgana, and by all rights, I mean, Morgana isn't exactly the worst pick against Thresh. So, you know, what sort of made you think, all right, I think a Blitzcrank would actually do me a lot better this time around?
A matter of aggressive pick. So when we moved to the Malzahar, we didn't have the double shield and double snare anymore because that's a main part of that comp of the Lux Morgana is the double snare. So that made me feel to move. And while they still did, have that pretty AP heavy comp with the Echo and LeBlanc, I just felt like the Blitz was going to help me make plays on the Thresh, on the Echo, and on the very sitting duck of the MF.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And I think that it did, and that was the decision making there.
Okay. Cool. Anyone else?
So
Yeah.
I got a question about that first fight. It seemed to me that right at that little party right at the beginning, did you guys come from the jungle through the river and then back around to the bush? And
To
if so,
grandmother's house we go.
yeah,
I mean, I wasn't super happy about the way that went. I got outplayed because it was my call, obviously, but they warded behind us. We invaded through the right in front of Dragon Path, and we went into their blue bush looking for them. And I think they warded that blue bush and saw that we were coming, grouped in the bush for us to face check, and they got the huge Scion pop up, but it still went pretty well for us, just because of how effective some of our early game champions are there. The Caitlyn just got to auto for free for a really long time too.
Right.
LeBlanc does nothing early game,
Mm-hmm.
so and Malzahar does a lot.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
Yeah, we were commenting on that fight, how like somehow, some way, your guys' team wound up in the back end of it. We were like,
Well, I mean, we wound up in the back end of it because we face checked a 5-man
Right.
Scion pop up.
right.
Literally 5-man Scion popped us to start it. I was amazed that we 2-for-3'd there.
Well,
I thought we were going to get destroyed.
A large part of all that was we didn't necessarily see the build up because the stream wasn't working right.
Okay.
Yeah, unfortunate. But in any case, so I actually have just one last question. You're the captain for the Comeback
I'm
Kids.
actually not the captain. I'm just the
Well,
shot caller.
Oh,
close
who's,
enough.
who's the captain?
Nathan.
Oh.
Nathaniel.
Okay. Well, in any case, you're the shot caller. Sorry, you're right. That's two different definitions. So, as the shot caller, both games, pretty rocky starts. I guess we can both agree that they weren't exactly the easiest early games for you guys, but you guys still did come back in both occasions to pull out the W. So, really, what I want to ask is, what are some things that you guys are going to be looking to fix or improve on in order to get that early game a little bit more solidified and not exactly having to, fight for your lives in the mid game and then, living up to your name to the Comeback Kids and just, essentially what I'm asking is, what can you guys try and fix in order so that way you don't have to come from behind for your wins?
So I guess I'd like to start off by making kind of one clarification. And that was that game, both games pretty much went exactly according to plan.
Okay.
Except one got a little bit behind. But if you look at the pick ban, we were never at really any point overwhelmingly threatened by the team comps that they were presenting, so long as we just brought them to late game.
Mhm.
So I think you're seeing it from the perspective that we needed to have a good early game, which just didn't matter. So long as we just held together, we were going to win late game either time. Our late game composition was so much better than theirs. Both of our top lane tanks, we got Maokai both games. It was a Scion on the other side and a Renekton on the other side.
Mhm.
Our late game was consistently better than theirs. So I actually felt like our strategy was pretty effective both times. And while we did have a couple deaths, solo in the mid lane, and a couple, kind of sketchy team fights where a couple of us got picked, I thought that it was very effective, and that's just mostly, Ukake Poro has a pretty rough matchup every time he plays against the mid laners. They're platinums, so he just has to play safe, and that's pretty much the only adaptation that I would give. I thought that our team comp was very effective.
Oh, okay. So in general, you guys go into the game knowing full well, hey, if we end up losing the early game, it's fine.
We banned specifically for that.
Okay.
I mean, we saw that he basically only seems to play two top laners, Nautilus and is his main, and then he rotates either to Renekton or other secondary picks. And those are just really weak right now.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And so at that point, we have the Maokai that they let us pick both games. We have the Kazakhs, and we always had a great late game in our bottom and mid. So what do we really have to worry about?
I was most shocked that they let you pick the Maokai free after banning the Nautilus. The second game, they let you just pick it free when the Nautilus is like the one thing that can handle Maokai in lane.
And the call.
And the issue is they didn't even pick the Poppy in response. They went like 3 tiers down to Zion first pick, and I think that's just mostly just a champion pool issue, which is, I guess, kind of rude on our part. But you know, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah,
Definitely. Well, all right. We're gonna go ahead and cut it off there because it is starting to get a little late and everything. But you know, huge congratulations to y'all. You know, 2 very very action-packed games actually, and you know, very very entertaining. And again, great job on that Blitzcrank, getting the picks that you guys need, and overall just great shot calling in general. I understand Eric was really praising you guys' macro play. So, you know, keep it up, guys, and good luck to y'all on the next one.
Yeah, thank you very much. Have a good night, guys. Thanks for casting.
All right, no problem, man.
I almost said you too. You weren't casting.
Anytime, dude.
All right, we'll see you later.
Later.
All right, so that's pretty much going to wrap it up for us here, guys. Again, just a couple of blanket statements before we go ahead and end it off here. Again, I really, really want to apologize for what happened to the stream there, Game 2. I'm not exactly sure what we're going to be going for because I did have to stop the stream a couple of times in order to try and get it quote-unquote fixed. It didn't end up happening, so what we'll probably do is we'll try to find a way to grab the replay and then load it onto YouTube in that fashion. Unfortunately, it probably won't have us casting unless we cast over it again, which, you know, we might very well can. So in the questions for VODs and whatnot, we'll make sure to get those out to you guys as soon as possible. But again, I just really want to apologize because that's never happened. I didn't exactly know how to fix that issue or problem, but I promise you guys that it won't happen again, and that I will make sure ahead of time to ensure that the stream is the best quality for everybody watching. So I got that to go off of. I want to thank Eric and Panda, you know, for sticking it out with me and pretty much casting and going on the fly even with all these issues. You guys did an amazing job because, honestly speaking, I was like, okay, well, I can kind of understand what's happening in the game right now, and I was in another stream, like, trying to fix up the stream. So absolute props to you guys and everything. Y'all are getting good at this. Y'all don't think of it, but y'all are getting good at this. And last thing, again, we do have a donation button now. Again, if you want to donate, we would really, really appreciate it. Like I said, it gives the players more incentive to do these type of things. Especially when there's like a reward involved. Honestly speaking, I do it for the fun, and I'm 100% okay with that. But if you guys want to show us a little love, like I said, we've had $5 donations, we've had $10 donations. So just anything that you can that you really want to give or you feel you can give, we would really, really appreciate that. We are at 100. Our next goal is going to be at 150 again for more great prizes for those involved in the LCS, and to get ready for season 2, because we're about 3/4 of the way into the season. So summer split's coming up, so we gotta start getting prepared for that. That's pretty much all I have. Oh, last thing. If you guys haven't already, please make sure you follow us on Twitch, so that way you guys can know when we go live and when we have games going on. We usually post on the PMEA LOL page, but for those of you who are not a part of that, make sure to give us a follow button, so that way you can know automatically when we go live, and you can catch all the LCS action here on the channel. So again, and the follow really helps us out, guys. We're almost to 2K viewers as well. So, I'm sorry, 2K views. So that's exciting.
5K views the dream.
Yeah, dude. So we're already at 2K. We're almost at 2K viewers. We're probably gonna hit that this split. But thank you to everyone that tunes in every single time. I know I always thank you guys a lot, but it's it makes us feel good, knowing that people are actually watching and that we're just not talking to ourselves or like playing to ghosts. You know what I'm saying? So thank you guys for that. And that's pretty much it. This has been Sebastian Light Pulse Alarcon.
Gnarls Barkley. My name sucks.
Clean Panda.
All right, guys, and have a good one, and we'll see you on the next one.
See ya on the flippy flop.
Bye.